This is monitor repair. These are the tools that you will need. You will see soldering wire, a soldering tool, a suction solder remover, a cutter, and 2 screwdrivers. This is a monitor that will start. First, you want to take off the base. You remove the cover so the base screws will be exposed. There are approximately 4 screws and they have to be removed. Takes a little getting used to, but once you get it, it works out fine. The base is pretty sturdy, so on the last screw you want to make sure you have it secure so it won't fall, and hold as accordingly. Last screw is removed. We're going to set that aside. The next are screws to remove the cover from the monitor. There are 3. This one should be removed first, and the next 2 are at the top. Takes a little getting used to. Sometimes you want to magnetize your screwdriver, so we'll pull those screws right out. Next, we're going to remove the cover. We're going to pry with a larger screwdriver just to remove the cover. Usually each corner will do so, and just pull back. And this exposes the part we need to get to actually fix the monitor. There's a shield. Then to remove the shield, we first want to take care of all of the plugs that are going to this shield. So we want to remove the tape, and remove the plug. Once that's removed, then we want to remove the shield. There are approximately 3 screws to be removed. 2 are exposed, and 1 is not exposed. Once the last screw is removed, you want to simply pick up and pull back. This exposes the part we need to fix. We can automatically see that there are capacitors exposed, and this one is the one we need to remove because of the swollen. I'll give you a better view. First, there are 4 screws to be removed from this board. And those boards are as follows. And once the screws are removed, there are 4 plugs that we want to remove. We want to be firm and steady with these. Those are the 4 screws. Let's remove the plugs. Now the board is free to remove from the rest of the monitor. And as you can see, it's plain, but this is the swollen capacitor that need to be removed. To remove this capacitor, we first want to find the legs that attaches it to the board. So we just follow as accordingly. And there are 2 legs that are soldered onto the board. To remove those legs, we're going to take our soldering gun, and we'll take the solder remover. We'll heat till it bubbles up and suck it out as follows. This exposes the leg, and we're going to go to the next leg. Same process till it bubbles up and suck it out. Now to remove this, you just turn the board over and remove the bad capacitor. Once the capacitor is going back to the board, you want to make sure that the white line goes onto the black that's indicated on the board. This is the negative side. So you just plug in, make sure that it's lined up. You're going to bend the legs back just slightly so it will stay in place. so you can begin to solder. Solder is just in reverse. You connect the soldering iron, you place a little bit of solder just for a small bubble, and then to the next leg accordingly. Once the bubble has been completed, then you want to remove the excess part of the leg, just so it won't be ground out up under the thing. And it's just take your cutting tool and remove the legs, the excess, right next to the board. Now, we're going to replace this or reassemble back to the rest of the monitor. We will insert the board. Sometimes it takes a little getting used to, but just insert in, put our plugs in. They are 4, and usually they are keyed in the same way that they came out. Once the plugs are inserted, now we're going to insert the 4 screws that attaches this back to the monitor. Magnetizing your screwdriver can help to hold the screws in place because it gets a little small and sometimes you might make a mistake and drop that screw. Magnetizing the screwdriver will help. The last one is installed. Now we're going to reinsert our plug to the board, and we're going to now secure the shield for the plug and secure the shield rather onto the board so that our capacitors and all our high voltage will be covered. And it's the same in reverse, those 3 screws. One is exposed on top, and the next 2 are not exposed. It goes into the shield onto the board. This is a ground. Our next is at the back to keep it in place, to anchor. Now, after all the shield have been and all of the plugs have been, we are going to now reinsert back, make sure that everything is in place, and we're going to put the cover onto the monitor and reassemble. We're going to insert the screw that was up under the base of the monitor first. And the 2 screws at the top of the monitor. Once these screws are inserted, then we will go to and reinsert the base back onto the monitor. Now that you have the screws, we're going to reinsert the base onto the monitor. This is just reassembling back to where you started from. Once the 4 screws are inserted, like so, and it's the same 4 screws. Now, we're going to put the cover back onto the base that covered the screws, and this completes the fixing of the monitor.